Okay, so you referenced earlier on the call that you didn't set out with these incredibly aggressive revenue targets. I listened to a different podcast of yours where you talked about your initial revenue target, I think for the fiscal year of 2022, was something like $8 million. And your plan called for 22 people in the revenue organization. And that didn't last long. So your actuals were something like 40 million in revenue and 100 plus people. So 5x on each, the revenue and the headcount side. Can you talk to us a little bit about how that plan evolved throughout the year? Was this one major reforecast that you did when you realized, like, man, this is taking off a lot faster than we thought? Who is pushing to go bigger? Just tell us anything that comes to mind with this crazy change to the plan.
Yeah. So who pushed us to go bigger? The market did. Like, that wasn't a decision that we made, but when you start to make go-to-market investments and the return is much higher than anticipated, right? I think there's this notion of like, okay, let's see if it's there. Ultimately, I had to sit down with our CEO and ask him to trust me. And I needed him to trust me with, it's not free. It costs millions of dollars to build a team that big in that period of time to generate the revenue. Now, with that said, I'm a big believer in milestone-based planning. If A plus B equals C, you better move on to D. And right, so like objectify the outcomes and the milestones so that it's a no-brainer. The hard part is thinking through what those should be. And in our world, I can tell you very early on, like when I started throwing a number around it started with a 4, people thought I'd lost my mind because we were nowhere near that, right? We didn't have the pipeline for that. But the pattern and the trend and the analysis was there. If we do A and we do it well, B, C will be the outcome. And if C is the outcome, we better get ready for next year right now. And so there wasn't a massive one-time exercise where we shifted, the goalpost and picked a new target. It was iterative and challenging, right? Like at any given time, one particular variable could destruct the entire build of any plan that we had in our hands. And so we had to be adaptive and willing to admit, like, got that assumption wrong, better move on, right? Like no harm, no foul. We miscalculated. World's moving fast.